All right. So on this next example, ladies and gentlemen, these are going to be some of the ones that Tiara are going to give you some of the most difficulty, because basically we're going to have to go back into factoring. Again, factoring trinomials, which we practiced last class period. Or not last class period, but last unit. So basically on this one, I'm going to do one way I'm going to do the long method, and then another way I'm going to do the short method. Okay? Because obviously, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I did so much practice with these was so therefore you guys can start getting very, very quick at doing these. So therefore, the factoring is not going to take so much time. Now, the first way to factor, as you guys remember, the first way I taught you was using what we called, our cross method, where basically we did a times c and b, and we say what two numbers multiply to give you a times c, but then add to give you b. Okay? Now in this case, a times c is my a is 1, my c was -3. So I basically have -3. Oh, sorry. I'm doing the bottom one. My a times c is 1 times 12, which is 12. And then my b is -7. So what I'm trying to do is identify what two numbers multiply to give me positive 12 and add to give me -7. Now since they're adding to give me a negative number, I know that both my factors have to be negative. So I look at the factors of 12, which are 12 times 1, 6 times 2, and 4 times 3. Out of these, what are the only two that multiply? 4 and 3, but they both have to be negative, right? So it'd be -4 and -3. Now, since my a is equal to 1, right, I can write these now as just my factors. So I can write this as x minus 4 times x minus 3. That's what's nice about when a is equal to 1. You guys don't need to use the box or the grouping technique that we've done before in this class. You guys can just simply use these as your factors. Now let's go and group this ahead. Now basically, guys, if you have done the practice with this, basically what we're asking, rather than having to do all this stuff, I want you guys to get to the point where you guys can do this in your head. And basically what you ask in your head is, what two numbers multiply to give me -3, but then add to give me -2? Think about it. -3 times 1 is obviously -3. -3 plus 1 is -2. Okay? Now I look at this and I say, OK, so before I simplify it, though, I want to write out my restrictions, right? So what are the restrictions on this expression? What are the restrictions on this?
-4, 3, -1, or +4.
Does everybody see why it's +3 and +4? If you want to set them equal to 0, you can. X minus 4 equals 0. What would make x minus 4 equal to 0? Well, if x obviously was 4. Right? Yeah. So you want to see whatever makes your denominator equal to 0 or one of these factors equal to 0, that's what you do not want it to be. Then I see I have x minus 3. Those divide into 1. So my final answer is x plus 1 divided by x minus 4, where x cannot equal 3 and x cannot equal 4.
Oh, I see what we just did.
OK?